All right. We're back, baby. Part 2.
Oh, yeah, the burp started immediately.
Oh, yeah. Love to see it. Glad I'm not the only one.
The good, bad, and the ugly.
We're back. Neptune's Dagger Part 2.
Part 2.
If you didn't catch last episode, go check that out now.
Yeah, I mean, we owe it to you guys anyway with extra content. We took 3 weeks off. I'll take the blame for it all day. You know, so we gotta at least give you guys some extra stuff here. But yeah, I mean, we have a big topic here.
Big topic.
And that is the Bill Clinton
meme.
Bill
with
Clinton.
The 4 albums.
4 albums. 4 of your favorite albums. Or I should say 4. The way I took it is like if you had 4 albums, it's those in a nutshell of what makes up you as a music listener. What are your standards? How does that impact you? Okay, so I named my first one. It was Nevermind by Nirvana.
Boom.
My second one, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West.
Great album.
And my third album is the Kid Cudi album.
Knew it.
Good call with that one.
Don't know which one it would be because I'm not the Kid Cudi person, but
no, I'm gonna pick Man on the Moon too, and I'm definitely gonna explain why because we're talking a lot.
All right, while you do that, I'm gonna look up the track list so I can remember what's on there.
So the thing was you have the mixtape Kid Cudi. Let's go back before the first Man on the Moon. You have like we're in a big mixtape phase here. Kid Cudi's basically a stoner rapper.
2010 as well.
Yeah, you got like the Wiz Khalifas. You know, you got the Kid Cudi, and they kind of just chill back and they just kind of rapping on mixtapes and this and that. But then Kid Cudi comes out with his first album, Man on the Moon, and he has Common in the narration, and he also narrates this album. He makes it like a movie. You're tapping into his mind. He even on the track list divided it up into chapters. So he continued this with the second album. And the second album, Man on the Moon 2, The Legend of Mr. Rager, was super dark. All right, now you're really tapping into like Kid Cudi himself as a person. So he starts going into stuff like the way his father died, like his cocaine addictions, his like all kinds of addictions, like his wild and lifestyle at the time. So it's kind of like this build up in the beginning, and then he introduces it, and then you kind of go into like the nightmare and like the dark side. It's almost like a come down of like a bad trip.
See, that's crazy because Cudi's always been an artistic type of guy. You can just tell right in the middle, you know, any song that you hear Cudi's, you hear like the art behind it. I'm looking at the playlist right now, track list right now. I don't know any of these songs.
Yeah.
Probably Ashton Kutcher, I think I know that song. But I feel like it's right at the beginning, he does Scott Mescudi versus the world.
Mescudi versus the world, yeah.
So like where would his second chapter be?
I don't know off the top of my head because on the official track listing, it's kind of like you can't do that on a streaming platform.
Okay, all right.
But if you actually like looked it up elsewhere, like you'll see like the chapters that he had like for it. I could try to look it up and explain this at the same time. But the point I'm definitely making is that like Kid Cudi flow, like he doesn't have the greatest flow in the world. It's not like this tight Eminem flow or this Kendrick Lamar flow. Like, you know, he's not as conscious as like J. Cole with his clarity and stuff. But he's done something that no one's ever done before. His flow is like none other. Like the way he uses his voice to sing. Yeah, he uses that like the way he mumbles and does like the, you know, his own thing and the way he sings. It's like none other. Like he really has his own flow. You won't hear that again. And he influences the likes of like Travis Scott and a lot of these younger guys on SoundCloud.
I can see that. Because he was doing like an auto-tune vibe, but without the auto-tune.
Yeah.
Because his vocal range and like the way he can move his voice is like ridiculous.
He has a really prominent voice like that. Like he could do it. Like he's almost like it's kind of like a hypnotist kind of voice. But this album, you know, it's very dark and it kind of like it almost towards the end it kind of turns into like a horror movie again, kind of like Monster from Kanye. Yeah. Like it gets very intense in this album and like I've just a bunch of sounds I've never heard before. And the way, like, that was my main point, was that, like, you've never seen this done before. Like, Kid Cudi's like no other. He doesn't have the greatest flow of all time, but it's so unique to me. And he really, when I listen to an album, I'm so big on kind of, like, ambitious in terms of, like, your genre. Yeah. Like, is it purely hip-hop, or are you actually meshing into, are you experimenting, or are you doing different things?
Doing cross-genre type stuff.
Yeah, so he was kind of stepping into, like, an alternative kind of scene that, like, pushed his next few albums.
Yeah.
But this album to me was super important because of like how I related to him, and he wasn't afraid to talk about like the highs and lows of like all kinds of.
He had depression, right?
Yeah, he had that
came out.
depression.
He came out with that.
And
I
this
think.
album cover, I could show it. Hopefully it pulls up well. No, it's not it right there. But like he's kind of sitting here in this dark photo. It kind of looks like a scary movie.
Yeah.
But apparently he's holding like this like liquid blow, like this like liquid shit he was like addicted to. You know, like, and it's just like
liquid cocaine. Is
yeah,
that
yeah, like, you know, like weird.
I thought you said blow, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah, like some liquid blow.
Liquid blue.
But yeah, I guess that was my main point. Like, Kid Cudi always had a big influence on me because of like he was never afraid to like expose himself.
Yeah,
like,
experiment.
Who he really was.
Kid Cudi for me, when there's few songs that I did like. I mean, Pursuit of Happiness was like, for our generation, I feel like everybody knew that song.
Oh yeah, plus the remix.
And then so like that captivated an emotion so well that very few artists can do in a song. Like you don't, like you could hear how it feels and you could feel how it sounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know when you could smell something and you know how it's gonna taste. Like when you listen to a certain Kid Cudi song, you could hear how it feels on you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's
like
a really
you
good
instantly get like Pursuit of Happiness. You're fucking partying. You're about to set off on a trip or something. Like you just know you're in that vibe. You know. So like, there's not a lot of artists that really can convey an emotion like that through sound or a feeling like that through sound.
That's a really good
I
point.
thought was dope.
It's a really good point. Invoking emotion is super important to me because. I kind of use this example. Someone like 6ix9ine, he's not even that great lyrically or anything, but he gets you hyped and he instills that emotion inside of you, and you could argue would make him a good artist. Like at the time when he was making the music.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with Kid Cudi to me. And
there's an argument to be made that he's a good artist, not a good rapper.
Exactly.
But he's a good artist.
And that's in pure emotion like
he's not
that.
Stupid, obviously.
Pure like relatable emotion like that to me, like when you tap into that dark side or the plus sides and stuff, like really awesome stuff.
So. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the whole album now.
It's a roller coaster for sure. Super.
Because I don't think I've ever explored it not one time.
Very intense album. So I'll get to my fourth and let you take over.
So I was right though. First of all, I mean, I was gonna do Nirvana, so you know,
yeah.
But I did say Kanye West, Kid Cudi. I don't think I could pick a fourth one.
My fourth one, I'll get to the point because I want to leave you at least like 20-ish minutes.
Don't worry, it'll be easy. 20 minutes.
Yeah. So I picked Goblin by Tyler the Creator, dude.
Yeah.
So I picked Goblin, and I was going back and forth.
I should have seen Tyler the Creator.
Yeah. And this one I think was another 2010. I think it was another 2010 album.
Goblin?
Yeah. I mean, this is when I was in high school. I think I was a sophomore in high school, and this one.
Yeah, we were about sophomores.
You know, this was really shaping like how I was as a music listener.
Was this the Yonkers joint?
Yeah. Yonkers and all that. But this is also something you've never seen done before, and it gives you the shock value of something like an Eminem's first album or second album. Yeah, it almost gives you that feeling of shock value where you've never heard this crazy shit being done before. This is another album that tells you a story, and he has his conscience talking to you the whole time, and he's killing people left and right, and he's just like super intense.
Yonkers was groundbreaking for just off.
Absolutely groundbreaking. That music video is
groundbreaking.
Insane.
Was ridiculous.
And I threw this in there, and this was really tough because I have some honorable mentions like Flower Boy from Tyler as well, but I also had like
that album.
Blonde by Frank Ocean, and I had Mad City. Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick in there for honorable mentions. And I was trying to decide, but I picked Goblin just because I'm like, if you tell someone you listen to Goblin, they're going to see you as some type of music listener. So, like, you'll know, like, the way I listen. When I listen to this album, I'm like, damn. Like, this is real. This is, like, a super intense, well put together, big narrative. Another one of those albums. It's like you never heard anything like this in your life. So, I guess with these 4 albums, I kind of pictured, like, 4 corners of, like, really experimental, really different from each other, but they're all kind of like a movie.
Yeah.
You know, like I would say 3 out of 4, besides Nevermind, are like a movie that you could picture in your head, and it's taking you on a journey as you go.
See, that brings me to my point where it was like these 4 albums should be able to shape. Like if I was gonna make a playlist for you right now, just off of hearing those 4 albums, I probably could, because I would choose like alternative, experimental type music that's closer to rap as well, that has rap influence, not like influence, like I don't know if you'd be into like ICP, but you might be into like maybe Tech 9-ish because it's like rap experimental, or I mean, I just off the top of my head, I don't know per se, but like you could base a playlist off of other artists just off of those 4 albums.
Right. So yeah, those are my 4. I'm really excited to hear what you have to say. I don't know if you want me to guess. If I had to guess.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you could probably guess.
I mean, I'm going to throw Jay-Z in there, 50 Cent in there. I don't know. Just get to it because I want to hear what you have to say.
All right, so boom. Off rip, number 1 album ever, in my opinion. That is just the 1996, the greatest of all time. Jay-Z dropped his debut album, Reasonable Doubt, at 26 years old, first of all. Not no Nas, 18, 19. My man hustled, 26. Besides the point, let me get... For me, this is when I really fell in love with rap. I mean, I always loved rap, but I loved rap when I started hearing Jay-Z. My first big artist was Busta Rhymes, and I thought about putting him in here. But the whole his albums didn't affect me. This might have been one of the first albums to actually affect me. I have the vinyl sitting right above my head every night. I got Reasonable Doubt in vinyl right above my bed. So it's like, to go through that track list real quick, I mean, you got The Evils, you got Dead Presidents, you got not Justify My Thug, wrong album. You got The Evils, Dead Presidents, you have Can I Live, which is one of my favorite Jay-Z songs of all time, top 5. Top 5 Jay-Z songs, because I have to shuffle Jay-Z songs through my head day in and day out. But like you said, he's transferring... In this album, he's transferring from the streets to the record business. He's going illegal to legal. So he talks about his gangster ways. He talks about, the sad shit that's happened in his time, which you rarely hear Jay-Z do ever anymore because he's godlike now. He doesn't do that shit anymore. So I can go into my love for Jay-Z music all day. So I'm just gonna cut it at that. That has to be my number 1. And did I say Politics as Usual?
No, I love that song.
Oh, that
was the first song I ever heard off that album.
That song's, that ridiculous. Beat, the lyrics, it's just ridiculous. Then my second album, this brings me right to my childhood. So you got Jay-Z, you got 50 Cent, because Get Rich or Die Trying. I wanted to be a thug so badly. Nothing has ever made me want to be a gangster more than my life than Get Rich or Die Trying. That entire album, Patiently Waiting, was my favorite song forever. I mean, that Eminem verse. Do you Zuzu do do? You get the message, am I getting through to you? You know what's coming, you motherfucker don't even know, do you? Come on, I mean, just ridiculous.
I mean, 50 Cent swept the whole nation, though.
Well, yeah, he came out. Shit. America loves this gangster shit. And I did too.
The clothing line.
Yeah, there was a time, and I'll give you a personal story. 3rd grade, I remember specifically G-Unit sneakers, G-Unit shorts, where we had the jean shorts that go past the knee.
Have to.
Had the t-shirt, sleeves past the elbow, big T. I was draped up. I was dripped out for 03, or 04, or whatever it was when we were in 3rd grade. I think it was 03. But... I mean, and then this girl comes over to me and she's like, why are you wearing capris? And that stuck with me for the rest of my life. I'll never forget that girl. I don't even know who it was, but I'll never forget you, bitch. And that hurt, baby. But I was like, yo, this is the culture. Like, I want to be a thug.
It was the culture, though.
And nobody liked, nobody understood. Nobody was fucking with hip-hop until Lil Wayne dropped Carter 3.
The thing with 50 Cent, though, everything slapped on 2 back-to-back albums.
Back-to-back
everything. Albums. All club bangers, though. Everything was a club banger. Every single thing he had.
The life struggle is deciding between Get Rich or Die Trying or The Massacre. But my thing is, you got 1, 2, What Up Gangster, Patiently Waiting, Many Men, In the Club, High All the Time, If I Can't, Back Down, PIMP, Like My Style, 21 Questions, Don't Push Me, Wanksta, You Not Like Me. Let's not even name the whole album. That's just ones that pop up to my eye real quick.
You could get the entire club going the entire night.
Yeah, and he could serenade your bitch at the same time. Throw 21 Questions on. Classic.
But everyone loved his music.
Women,
everyone loved his music.
And that had shaped my early childhood years into loving this gritty shit. Loving it.
But on top of the movie, he had too. It was
on top of the movie.
On top of the movie, and his music was based around that come up shit. Really,
it was that by any means type attitude. But Then we fast forward to 2010. 2010 was a great year for albums. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Great. And great time for us because that's when we were in high school.
Middle of high school.
2010, I think we were 15, 16 years old.
Middle of high school.
I mean, that really kind of influences a lot of choices you make and who you're going to be, you know?
And like I said, this doesn't reflect off of what I think is the top 5, top 10 albums. These are just the ones that really got me. And this is actually not 2010. I think his first album was 2010. This is 2012, which is our senior year of high school. But I had to put this in there because Kendrick, when he dropped Good Kid, Mad City, I mean, it was like the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Unbelievable.
It probably inspired me to write, like you said, a book from intro to outro. This was like my first album where I was like, okay, intro to outro, everything makes sense in the order that it's going, and everything is fire. I mean, you got Shireen, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Backseat Freestyle. When that dropped, it was like the craziest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. Then you got Money Trees with J-Rock's verse at the end. It was just ridiculous. That beat is ridiculous. Poetic Justice was fine. It's great. It's got Drake. Love it. Good, love to see it. But then Mad City comes on. And you get 2 songs in one. And that first song is the fucking mean face, man down, where you from? And then make I don't give a fuck, the whitest person you know will rap the shit out of that and feel like you were in Compton, like ready to, in a minivan with the AK. Like, you've never done anything like in your life, but hearing that song, you're ready to do a drive-by. No problem with it.
Ridiculous.
Like, so when that, and then you go into the MC8 that explains the hardships of the hood, and it's just like, yo, this is what we deal with on the daily, like it's nothing. And you have that crazy, like, old school live drum pattern, that, like, I'm just like, wait a minute. And then he comes in with the crazy verse, and it's like, oh. But then that leads me to the best concert that I've ever seen in my life, which was and remind me to screen record it because maybe we could throw it up there. The crowd at Toad's Place. Kendrick Lamar just dropped this album. The crowd at Toad's Place. It was me, Dave, my dad, in the VIP section on top. It was wall to wall. Just like this. Like 8 Mile last scene. It was fucking bananas. Mad City dropped. You already know what happened. I thought the place was going to collapse. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And like, I'm not one for crowds. I'm not one for concerts anymore like that. I would relive that day every day of my life. That was like, ooh, top 5 moments of my life. Shit was nuts. The energy was crazy. Then you got to go to my probably second favorite album all time, maybe third. Drake comes out with Take Care.
Amazing year.
Amazing year. At least I think it was 2010. I'm pretty sure.
Definitely
was.
2010.
If not 2011. Says 2011. It's probably early 2011, if anything. Headlines, Shot For Me, Crew Love, Take Care, Marvin's Room, fucking Underground Kings, We'll Be Fine, Make You Proud, Lord Knows. Know that I don't make music for people that don't get pussy. So those are the ones I count on to diss me or overlook me. Probably one of the hardest bars I ever heard in my life. That's crazy. You're saying, yo, oops. Oh, that's one of the saddest songs I ever known. But
Make us cry.
he literally goes, yo, I don't make songs for dudes that don't get bitches. So the dudes that don't get bitches hate on me. So you're basically a loser if you hate on Drake or you don't like girls. So I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're in the rap community, can't really hate on the GOAT. Second GOAT. But I mean, hell yeah, fucking right. When that verse dropped,
that song's hard.
Anthem.
That's bars.
Anthem. But yeah, I mean, that's got to be my foundation. I wanted to throw a rock in there. I love oldies. I love every genre. But there's no love like hip-hop love. That's it.
I see where you're coming from. My only thing was this. Like, I don't think there's any problem with you putting Drake in the top 4. But I think for me personally, I think Drake he's already tapped into so many people in the masses.
Yeah.
You know, it would be hard for me to put him there because I don't think it would define who I am as a music listener enough. But there's no doubt that Take Care is a classic album.
Drake, in my opinion, is my second overall all-time rap artist.
I mean, he's
ever.
a true hybrid guy.
Yeah. He can do anything. He does no wrong. He literally says, I wipe my ass with tissue paper and it sells. Like, it doesn't even matter what he says. But I love, like, his actual artistry behind the music as well, like the samples he uses. Even though he takes other people's, verses, like, I mean, where he uses them and why, like, there's always something. There's always, like, a triple meaning to everything he's doing.
I mean, he might be the greatest introspective rapper of all time. For sure. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like self-reflective music.
Oh, yeah.
Reflecting on within.
I mean, all his timestamp records, are...
But just the way he carries himself and the way that the timely manner that he drops things and the way that he has unreleased tracks.
Yeah.
And they become
It's
number
all
one
calculated.
hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a very calculated guy. And it's just like, I think he knows how to carry his legacy very well. And it's almost like when you have like the LeBron versus Jordan argument. And it's just like, okay, LeBron might even be a better player, but you can't touch Jordan's legacy.
Yeah.
And I think Drake's kind of headed for like a Jordan-type legacy.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's the thing. They're always going to bring up the Pusha T with Drake. They're always going to bring up the Pusha T thing.
But even his beat formula is insane.
It's insane.
The way he makes
That's
it
why I
catchy.
think Charged Up, and Back to Back, and I said it when it came out. This is not a late diagnostic. Charged Up was like, you ever play baseball, you throw the baseball up, and then you hit it as hard as you can? Like, just the easiest way to hit the ball. Charged Up to me was like, he's like, all right, I'm going to throw this ball up, and then Back to Back came out, and he fucking cracked it. And then, like, Meek was like, oh, shit. Home run. Can't do anything. Like, you can't come back from that. Well, I mean, he did, but, like, you can't make a diss record and come back from that.
No.
You have to just leave it alone. You have to just take your L and just be like, I'm done with it.
He bodied him.
Bodied him. Absolute massacre. And then the internet destroyed him. That was another thing, too. Like, the internet's feeding beefs. Like, it wasn't back when Jay and Nas or 50 and Fat Joe or 50 and every other rapper in the game at the time because he beefed with everybody. But, like, the memes alone could kill you. That's it. Like, you could say nothing. But if the internet has memes for you, it's all set. You're done.
The internet is undefeated.
Undefeated. You can't beat that. If there's memes trending for you every day for, like, a week, you lose. It's a loss.
Mm-hmm. I am fascinated by Drake's come up too as an actor and then what he turned himself into. And you got to think like the way he was as a young actor and he wanted to start a musical career. You don't really think much of it, but the guy had notebooks on notebooks as an actor, just like stocked up like this of just rhymes he had.
Yeah.
But to see like that switch, that transition, and the way he reps his city is even like insane. He's
especially comes from an area that's not a hip hop area.
Put the entire country onto a hip hop radar, like you know what I'm saying? Just like birth these people out of Toronto.
If you think about it, I just saw something the other day. It was Drake had 2C Slide, number 1. Weekend at number 2 with Blinding Lights, also from Toronto. Weekend drops his album, he's number 1 album, and the Tory Lanez dropped New Toronto 3, and it's gonna be like the number 2.
Mm-hmm.
This was like maybe a week ago or something, but that's three Toronto artists on massive, like topping the charts, all because Drake came up. If there was no Drake, there would be no Weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
There would be no Tory Lanez.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, they would be there, but they wouldn't be on the level that they have right now.
I do want to say this. There are people out there that are they almost like shame you for listening to the mainstream. Like, that is Drake.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to respect it. You got to respect the greatness. Like, I understand the guy is mainstream, but you really just got to...
You can't hate on greatness. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He has the most number 1s. Period.
Yeah, for good reason.
Like, not in rap, like, ever. Like, nobody else.
Yeah. I mean, and then
he's like 30-something.
And he has a track out there for everybody.
Everybody.
You know? Like, he has that stuff that...
Every genre of... I mean, everything that's anywhere close to rap around the world, he's touched.
Not many people know about, like, certain tracks, you know, where he just goes sick on it. Like, you could listen to shit like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like you just can't hate on the guy. Even if you are one of those underground people, like, and I take pride in finding shit that no one knows. But I gotta respect the greatness that is Drake.
Yeah, nah. I mean, it's just it's hard to argue with the numbers. I mean, you can't, and you could even make a case that he's better than Jay, but you'll never fucking hear me say it. Because I'm
yeah. Well, you got the LeBron Jordan argument.
Yeah,
it's similar.
Jay is Jordan. Drake is Jordan too.
In 1B.
It was an interesting conversation between Drake and LeBron, though. I don't know if you ever seen the HBO, the barbershop thing.
No, I know what you're talking about, though.
But yeah, so they had a conversation where they were like, they both want to just leave the game gracefully. Like, obviously, they touched it. They've left their stamp on it very clearly. But just don't get to that, and I hate to bring up names, but like that Eminem level where you kind of like try to come back and it just doesn't work out. And then now your legacy's tarnished. Like, if Eminem put his first three albums out and never made another album, like, he would never, like, nobody would ever argue that he's not the best.
Yeah,
like,
I fully
ever.
agree.
You know what I'm saying?
But
now that he come back and he makes shit, or what the mainstream people think, or most people think shit, now your legacy's tarnished. Whereas Hove, it's never happened. The only time where there was one slip up was In My Lifetime Volume 1, which is like it was third album in the early 2000s, which doesn't even matter because 20 years later, he's still fucking producing hits. So it's like, fuck
and
yourself.
what didn't you like about this album?
In My Lifetime? Mm-hmm. Not that I didn't like it, but when it came out, it got heavily critiqued. Like, it wasn't like it flopped. It wasn't. It actually might have been his second album. I can't remember right now. But I think In My Lifetime Volume 1 was his second album, and it was a flop. Until later, then it became recognized as a classic. The fuck is that?
I don't know what that is. But I have to say, I do appreciate the good... at least you said it with the Good Kid, Mad City. And I said it was an honorable mention from me.
Yeah.
But it's just the way Kendrick also carries himself and the legacy he knows that he has.
Yeah. Kendrick's not even on social media.
Yeah, he's not on social media. You don't know what he's up to, but you got to think that tension where you don't know what he's up to really creates a build up into the next project.
Which is exactly why Lil Uzi Vert's album was a flop to me.
You think so?
No.
Because there's too much anticipation?
Too much anticipation. I wanted the bop like it was 2016. But it ain't. It's 4 years later.
Yeah, I know. That's what happens.
Like, your core base is grown up now. 2016, we were what? 21, 2? 22? Just getting into the scene. Now we've been through the scene. For 3 years we've been in the scene already. We're done with it. Well, not done with it, but, we're not,
Yeah, I see what you're
We're not going crazy.
You could give up on it, though.
Yeah, we're not going crazy. We're fucking getting older. Like, we can't be going crazy in the fucking club to, all my friends are dead. Da, 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 da. Like, we can't. I'm 25 years old. Like, I'll turn up, but I'm not going crazy.
Yeah.
Especially you get a couple shots at me, I might turn up. Fuck it.
I like Lil Uzi a lot still. I think he's great for the new generation, but
yeah.
But I see what you're saying with the social media point. But that was my point with Kendrick is that he has a lot of build up because you just don't know what he's doing. He's a very low key guy. Yeah. So, but to throw Good Kid, Mad City in there, just that storytelling is amazing.
Dude, the storytelling is amazing. I mean, Sing About Me is probably one of the hands down most well written songs ever.
It's just ridiculous. It's just something that's again a narrative, and you've never heard anything like that in your life.
But even honorable mention, I'd have to throw Graduation in there.
Graduation, yeah, that was close for me too.
Yeezus was another crazy one for high school, or right after high school.
Yeah, right after.
That was 2013, I think it was.
Yeah.
But
in summer too.
I mean, that was
summer job.
I'm still gonna debate you. I think it's Graduation, Dark Twisted, and Yeezus top 3.
Yeah. No, you could argue. I can't lie. I wouldn't be mad if you took like Graduation over it. I really can't.
I won't put Yeezus over Dark Twisted, but I'll put Graduation over it.
I think it's a close call between those two. But I think Beautiful Dark is just more of a complete ambitious album.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, it goes both ways. Any given day, I could do this.
Yeah,
it's like it's the same with the Get Rich and Die Trying and the Massacre. But that's a whole nother fucking thing.
But I guess we can definitely conclude with that.
But yes, part 2 of the Neptunes or whatever it is, Neptune's Dagger. Appreciate y'all following, keeping track with the debate. Let us know, comment, hit us up.
Yeah, once again, boysandbartalk.com, baby.
Yeah,
it's up there.
Boysandbartalk.com.
But also follow us on IG and Twitter too, Boys and Bar Talk. You can find us. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers, baby.